You're not too. No one's too cool for headphones.
I don't like headphones.
Hello,
Sorry.
hello.
I don't love them either. That's why I do this thing.
I like them.
don't do it.
I feel like it cuts out the background noise. A
little
little bit
bit,
easier
yeah.
to hear.
All right, so it is me, Hannah,
And Sarah.
and then we have a guest.
Two guests.
Two guests.
Hi, I'm Nick. I'm Hannah's husband.
Yeah.
And I'm Nathan, and I'm Nick's husband.
Good.
Sexy.
Perfect.
Calissa, sadly, is not here.
She's on vacation.
Yeah. They're going to go biking in the mountains.
I know, which is just crazy.
Which mountains?
Somewhere in Minnesota.
Yeah, up north. I forget what
Way,
what
way
city
up
she
there.
said, but
Oh,
are you
nice.
like
Cycling.
avid bikers?
So
Cycling.
say what now?
Are you avid bikers?
Well, yeah. I mean, we are. We just got back from, where was that? Lanesboro. So we
I saw
were out
that.
there with our family biking around. So
No
boy.
way.
yeah, that's.
It's not
I
for
like
me.
I like to be a big guy, but I also like to be able to do whatever the crap I want. So
Yeah.
being able to go hop on a bike and go, 30, 40 miles.
Did you take all your kids? Mm-hmm. Oh, my gosh.
Dang.
Oh yeah, we like camping and biking and doing all the outdoorsy stuff. I don't like sleeping on the ground necessarily, but I like everything else about
Do
it.
you get those cots that you can put your blow-up
Yeah.
mattress on?
So the boys sleep on cots. I actually just sleep on the blow-up air mattress because
Terrible.
yeah.
Doesn't it deflate with your body on there?
Well, I mean, my wife notices it way more because every time I move, she
'Cause
gets
she's small.
catapulted. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah, that's funny.
do not
That's
like
funny.
that.
That's funny.
But I'm not an outdoorsy person.
Me either. Inside
Well,
all the way.
I
Real
wasn't-
toilets, real showers.
I recently became more outdoorsy. I don't really love it. I mean, I don't love sleeping outdoors because I like air conditioning.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big sweaty dude.
Yes.
And but yeah, outside of that, it's great. I like cooking outdoors. I've always liked open fire cooking
Hey,
and
do you have a
stuff like that.
Blackstone?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Did I ask you this?
I
Oh my
do have a
gosh.
Blackstone. It's
I want
awesome.
one so bad.
Get
It
one.
looks
They
like a
look
lot of
so-
maintenance
Get
to
You know what? I don't
keep
even
it.
care. They
No,
look so
it-
cool.
It's
I would
it's
go
no
out
more
in
than
negative
It's
30
like a
degree
cast
weather
iron
to cook
skillet.
on a, yeah.
it's no more than a cast iron skillet. Yeah,
Oh, I want one real bad.
yeah, they're great.
Talk Calvin into it.
Well, apparently he just eats out all the time, so it's
Yes,
gonna
he
be
does.
hard. It's gonna be hard.
He's
hard
never
to-
cooked a day in his life at this point.
Buttered noodles, Sarah.
Oh
And
yeah.
a taco. Yep.
So don't discredit him.
Buttered noodles and a taco. That's what he knows how to cook. That's what he cooks really well.
See, well, and I'm the guy that just likes to cook stuff that takes like 12 hours. So I'm about
That's
smoking
crazy.
meats and anything that takes way too long.
I'm too impatient. I made a roast in the crock pot the other day, and I was like counting down the hours. I'm like, okay, only 45 minutes left, and then I can have some roast.
Yeah, get yourself an Instapot. I made
I have one.
really
Too
good.
scared.
Oh man, I made really good chuck roast out of
I
of
didn't
that.
even think about putting it in the Instant Pot. How long does it take in an Instant Pot?
It was so
Instant.
Yeah,
what I
it's
said.
very instant. It's incredibly instant. No, I mean I saute them and get them browned up and everything.
That
and
sounds
then
like work that I don't want to do.
takes 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and then you turn it on for 22 minutes, and then that's it.
Oh.
So
It's like the new microwave.
God.
it is, and it's awesome.
Yeah, but you know what I heard about Instant Pots is that they are laden with lead.
Lead? Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people, I know because the thing is stainless steel, but
Lead
apparently
is like super illegal to work with. I would be
everything has
amazed.
lead in it. Did you
Well-
not know?
Like water bottles on the outside layer of it, I've heard that has that. I've
What's
not
it
heard
called,
that
Nick?
Oh wait, what
Instapots
am
have lead.
I'm thinking of
BP no,
what's
BP
that other
BPA?
thing that makes what's that called?
Air
It's like
fryer?
a toast. Yes.
So the air fryer is different.
because it's coated.
Air fryer is different because you're blowing
Mm-hmm.
hot air through plastic, which is like BPA and microplastics, which
coated
makes sense. But
metal.
like lead is so heavily regulated. It's
No, everything has lead. Your plates have lead in them. Don't you follow people who literally test
What are
things
these
for
plates
lead?
from 1974?
You should. Maybe you
tell
should do.
me
Hey,
more.
maybe you should do an episode of
maybe
your show.
do
about
not hit me
lead.
with the you need to do your research about some motherfuckers with no credentials on TikTok told me.
I'm
blah,
just
blah,
saying.
blah.
No. I'm. This has been years that I've been like looking at this, but so you can just buy a lead testing kit and you can test things for lead. So you should do that. You should do some research and you should make a video on it.
Well,
I
I
won't watch
guarantee
it, but
that in
I
my-
will recommend it.
Guarantee that in my super old house, I have tons of lead paint.
Scary.
Yeah, so that entire second floor has got to be gutted down and get rid of all that lead paint. It's good
Lead,
for you. Just
asbestos, microplastics.
Cadmium.
It's fine.
yeah, I
Don't worry
mean,
about it.
I went to IKEA and I bought special plates because they are lead free and cadmium free.
Plates.
They were tested specifically. Yes.
Interesting.
The Corel plates, supposedly those tested high in lead at one time
Well, yeah.
in
And
relatively
one
recent
time
years.
prior before they made lead illegal?
No, no,
Yeah,
no,
yeah, exactly.
no.
Grill's been around for a minute.
No, I'm in the last couple of years, and that's why I bought different. Like that's why I went to IKEA and bought plates because they're specifically tested to be lead free and cadmium free.
And if there's one thing I know about IKEA is their high level of,
Well,
of
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
quality of their products.
I'm just saying. I did buy the higher quality plates and not the 99-cent ones. Okay.
I
They were
get
like
the Walmart 99-cent
$1.17.
one over here.
Are you a plastic plate girl?
You should be way more concerned about microplastics than
You
you are
should.
about lead.
No, I'm
be honest.
concerned about it. We don't have a microwave. I don't use hot things on plastic.
No, using plastic, period.
Yeah,
Fair.
They tried to.
But do you know how expensive it is to buy all new wooden cutting boards and stuff? It's really
It's not
expensive.
even that. They tried to test the effects of microplastics, and they couldn't even do a scientific test because they couldn't get a control because they couldn't get an environment that
With
was
no
free of
microplastics.
microplastics because they're fucking everywhere.
Tragedy. You should do an episode on that, a video.
Maybe we'll see.
Do you
I'm
like that
working
I'm
on
giving you
Legos.
ideas? Oh my gosh, Legos are so cool. I wish that I had grown up with Legos.
I was building Legos with my boys actually
Love it.
not
Do
that
you
long
buy
ago.
those special kits that are like hundreds of dollars?
No, nothing like that. We do a bunch of the lots that you can buy like on eBay and stuff like that. So
Cool.
they just look up videos on
Do you have that special app that tells you like certain things that you can make based on like what Legos are
my
in
son
the
brought it
picture?
up to me literally yesterday. He's like, "Can we get this?" I was like, "Well, I don't know yet, so we'll figure that out." But yeah, we
Very
love
cool.
Legos.
Very cool.
No, I stepped on them too many as a kid.
That's true.
So
Well, I mean, I step on them tons as an adult, but I'm all about
Yeah.
this life. You just have to keep it
Sometimes
in a
I
couple of
vacuum 'em up.
rooms. Yeah, the little ones get vacuumed up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame, but it is what it is. Anyways.
Anywho,
Microplastics.
Yeah, that's a real tragedy.
that's like a whole rabbit hole
Yeah,
itself.
It is. It is. Yeah.
So we had some topics that we wanted to talk about. Nathan's was a family experience or how to maintain a family. What was it?
I don't know. I didn't look.
Look it up.
Oh man.
Let me look it up.
Oh, you had just had it.
Your phone case is very square. It bothers me.
I really like it square.
I don't
Feels
like
good
it.
in my hand.
No.
No, I like it a lot.
Should be against the rules.
Having a
Not
family
very
experience and the
ergonomic.
importance
Right.
of that.
Yeah. So just like
So what specifically did you mean?
traveling with your kids, going to do like concerts, going to do just the adult things. What do you include your kids in? What do you do as adults and exclude the kids? And like also, what do you do? Because I mean, I'm better off than we were because we were super poor growing up, and so we didn't have a whole lot of the options to do things, and we got to do a lot for being poor, but now we're in a better position with like, what do we do? What can we do without spoiling our kids? Because I mean, I send the meme back and forth with my siblings, just like, oh, some people get generational wealth, and I just got a good work ethic. You know,
Yeah.
like that's
Yes.
what I inherited. So I want my kids to have a good work ethic and work, and know what it means to work. But I also don't want them to have to struggle for everything kind of the same way. So what's that balance there, and what are the experiences that we should be having versus like, no, you can stay home because we worked really hard to have these experiences,
Yeah.
and I want to enjoy them instead of having them quote unquote ruined by children being there the whole time. So what's that balance?
I don't know. That's
Yeah,
hard. I
it
feel
is
like the
hard.
concerts thing for me, I cannot wait to take the kids to concerts. It's so fun. It's something that I really enjoyed doing. Calvin,
As a kid?
not as much. Honestly, I went to one in middle school. That was my first one.
That's
Well, no,
crazy.
maybe it was before that even. I went to a Joe Nichols concert, and I was very young.
Country.
Yeah, but the early November was my first like real concert that I went to, like at a venue, and
I don't remember mine.
it was just so cool. It was awesome. So I don't know. It's just so cool. I love doing it. So I can't wait to take my kids more.
And there's
We went to one.
plenty of things that I also just really enjoy and want to be able to share with my kids. But it's like, what is,
Well, I feel like that's like it's the things I enjoy.
yes.
So maybe it's not other things. Like I don't know.
Because I think that it's super important to go out with your significant other and do stuff outside of just having kids. But what's the percentage of what do you, because I do want to take all my kids to concerts. Like my oldest, we take her to concerts every so often, and we got so Nyack is doing they have Bluey live, and so like we got that stuff for the boys, and so we're taking them to stuff like that. So stuff like that I think is
So
important.
their interests
But
mostly.
but what is it that I include them? Because stuff that I find interesting is like, well, my Highland Games and traveling for that. How much of them do I drag them to that so they have this experience also versus like, well, it's not something necessarily they even want to do. They want to be out and want to do everything that I'm doing, but that's not high up on their list of things that they want to do necessarily. So what's that?
Yeah, I feel like whenever we go out as a family and do stuff, it's almost always catered to like the kids' interests.
Yeah, and
So-
I want to include them in the adult things also,
Right.
because I
We
think
don't
that's
do adult things.
well, you should start doing adult things.
What? When we go on a date, I'm just like, wow, this is like, I'm lonely. I miss my kids. So I don't know.
Oh man, every time that my wife and I go out, I'm like, man, we actually do like each other. Holy crap, the kids are the problem.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Right now it's kind of catered to them.
Yeah,
their
your kids are pretty
interests.
little.
Yeah. So we're gonna take them to the zoo tomorrow because they're all about animals and like ocean animals too. So that, I mean, we're still in that like let's do everything while it's fun while they're young.
Yeah,
Nick's hobbies is probably jujitsu, so trying to introduce that.
are they getting to the age where they can start doing jujitsu and
They're
all that stuff?
well, Cutter's close, but
Cash will be a while.
But it seemed like Cash is ready to get in it.
He's
feel
ready
like-
to run around. He's not ready to pay attention.
Run around,
He's re-
but he was doing some of the warm ups with the other kids.
I
Yeah,
feel
he likes being on the mat.
I
Yeah.
feel like
Somersaults.
Cash will be more interested in like
I think so.
that than Cutter. Cutter is very, I don't want to say reserved, but just kind of like, he takes his time deciding if that's something he wants to do. And he's like, I don't know.
When he's
So-
really excited about something, he's really excited. So jujitsu is just, it's different.
It's not one of those
Yeah,
things.
why not turn your body into a killing machine? That seems like
Right.
something to be excited about.
But like I don't think he's ever seen Nick do jujitsu at all. Like he's never seen a grapple or anything.
Yeah, we should make him stay one night and watch.
It's so hot in there though.
Because how many men are or how many people are
30 dudes.
Yeah.
When it's 90 degrees outside. It's pretty
like,
terrible.
sweaty and just it
It's
smells
pretty
like
terrible.
yeah. We'll get Calvin some really good filter.
Calvin bought a, what's that called? An air purifier. Because I was just like, it smells in here. It is so gross. And he's like, yeah, I know. So it probably kicks on extra, like double time when all the people are there. Nasty.
Yes.
It's just salt.
Yeah, but it's stinky stuff.
Just salt.
Stinky.
Get over it.
No, I choose not to.
That's why I like sweating though.
What?
Well, if I'm like working out, I like to sweat.
Man, that's just my constant existence. I don't know. I've never
I mean,
known
same.
anything other than
I want
that.
the air conditioning to be at like 50, so it's very cold.
Oh,
and I can put a little
I'm with you
sweater
there.
on.
I'm with you there.
I don't like to be sweaty. No,
Well,
I don't like that
sweaty
at all.
like at the gym. Because I feel like I got a really good workout in. I like, just training my body. Yes.
Yeah, that's just like a constant state of being. Yeah, but
Oh shoot.
well, and that's
like
that's
that.
somewhere that I do take my kids. Going back to that, because
Oh,
that's
yeah.
something that I include my kids in, even though they don't always want to, but they want to play sports well because they're all kind of in that realm. So it's like, okay, if you want to play sports well, you have to actually train your body to do this. So here's something that we can all work at to get better at whatever your sport is. So I do like that's an adult thing that I include them in, even from I don't know. Cozy, we brought her in her little car seat like to the gym so Diana and I can work out. So we've done that for forever. So they're really comfortable in the gym, and then now we're getting them, under the weight too. So I think that that's important to to include your kids during that, because it just makes it so much easier transition in, because yes, I want them to be healthy and like the gym and like to work out and do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So
And as a kid, you really don't understand, like, why is this person so much better at sports than me? Like, you don't see the behind the scenes. Like,
Yeah.
oh, he went to the gym, he eats right, works out daily.
genetics play
Really?
a huge portion of like elite athletes, and just especially athletes just in general. Genetics play a big part of that, because you can't teach 6'3". You know,
Yeah.
and that helps when you're trying to do most sports. Being tall helps. And then obviously I was watching a lot of the Olympics, and so a lot of those guys are. Yeah, volleyball is what I was watching today. The play-in match to the gold for men's volleyball indoors, and all those guys are like, the setter is 6'6" or something like that. So it's like I love all sorts of stuff like this. That's my jam, volleyball. So,
Really?
Oh yeah,
Volleyball?
yeah. That's
I
my
would
favorite
not-
real sport. I played competitive volleyball for
Shut up.
for almost 2 decades
I would not
now.
picture you
That's
as a volleyballer.
crazy. No, not really.
Yeah,
You just
no,
don't have the vibe.
I just don't have the look. I got the vibe.
I don't even know what the vibe would be.
I don't know.
I
I,
guess
Most
I'm thinking,
volleyballers are, like,
beach
really-
volleyball and like
I mean, I play on the sand some, but I
could picture
like
you beach volleyball, yeah.
Yeah.
But I prefer the indoors because I'm
that
too
sand really
big.
drags you
Oh
down.
man,
It does.
I'm big, and so sand just makes it so much harder to jump.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
but no, I play quite a bit of volleyball, and
That's
I'm
cool.
hoping my kids do the same.
That'd be fun.
Man.
But yeah, honestly, it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I am good at a couple of different sports, but it's genetics, a lot of it. I am tall, I am fairly fast, I am fairly athletic, and that wasn't something necessarily that I grew. Like I got better in it, but I was just always kind of was that from the beginning. Like, so you can work really hard, but there's a lot of really top tier athletes that are just naturally top tier athletes.
How do we feel about like forcing our kids to do activities that
Good.
we want them to do?
Yeah, to a point, absolutely.
Good.
I feel
Like
I feel
I'm saying,
great
like
about
the
it.
Bluey concert. Like, would you force your kids to go because you think that they'll enjoy it, even if they think they won't?
Yes.
Would you?
Yes.
Explain.
They're children. They don't know
So
what
like,
they want
well, I feel like that's true to some degree, but
to most degrees.
I even go
I
as
mean-
far as to say I would rather even force them to do something that they should do and they need
Right,
to do
yeah.
more even than the
yeah,
Bluey
well,
concert.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like that's kind of a given. Like, I'm forcing my kids to do swimming lessons because if you don't know how to swim, you're gonna fucking die.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, that's
thing.
different to me than saying like, I think that you guys are really gonna enjoy this like meet the machine thing that they do in Clear Lake. I think you guys are really gonna like it, and even though you don't want to go, we're gonna do it anyways because I think you're really gonna like it once we get
Are
there.
they old enough to comprehend what it even is, though? Or
Yeah.
are they just being like you can tell Bronson, hey, we're going to meet the machine thing, and he knows what that means?
And then I say it's where there's a big bunch of cars and trucks and different types of things, and we're gonna go sit in them and honk their horn and look at them and walk around. And then he's like, okay.
So he doesn't not want
So
to
then, no, Gus didn't want to go.
Okay.
Bronson was like, sure. Bronson's kind of up for whatever, but Gus was like, no.
I mean, I pretty much always do make my kids,
Yeah.
but they're pretty good for the most part of being like they're up for an adventure, and so they're up to try something new. Granted, they have regretted that choice a few times, but for the most part, they do enjoy getting out and trying something. But yeah, I 100% will force my
Do you think
kids
that's
to do those.
because you've forced them to do things that they are excited about getting out to do stuff?
Maybe. Like same thing with like traveling. They all are really good at traveling, even like 20 plus hours in a car we've done. And it's just because we've always done it. They love to fly, they love getting in planes, they love all that stuff. But I think that honestly it's because we've always done it. So there's a little bit of nature versus nurture there. But yeah, 100% I'm going to force my children to do things that
So
I
then
think
how
that
do
are
you
good
deal
for
with the
them
bad
and that they would.
attitudes? If they have bad attitudes about it, how do you deal with that?
And you yell, I'm never taking you anywhere again.
Yeah. Then I'm like, you guys, it's not fun because you're a party pooper right now. It's not fun because this isn't like a fun activity. You're just being a butthole.
And
I don't know.
That
now we're
differs-
just like,
and
you're
that-
older than me, you're giving me parenting advice. That's
Yeah.
where we're at right now.
Well, all right, but I think that differs from every kid.
Yeah.
Because you can't. There's no
Fair enough.
cookie cutter way to do that. Because if I, for my oldest, I can pretty much just be like, all right, we're going to do this because this is what we are doing as a family, and you're going to live with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the youngest, if I did that to him, it would be a absolute meltdown.
Yeah.
And you don't like me. You don't like me as a person. Like he's 6 and will say, you don't like anything about me, and like
Gus says
storm
that
away.
too.
It's-
I'm like, what's wrong
Must
with
be
you?
like a
That
6-year-old.
you would say that
and
to
of
me.
course he has the cutest little speech impediment, and so I'm like, oh, it's so cute, but I gotta make sure that you know that I actually don't hate everything about you, because, and then he'll usually come back later and apologize for it, but you just can't interact with them that same way. So every kid is a little bit different in that.
Yeah, I was the oldest, so I think I was kind of, I thought I was too cool for my parents and my family, because my brothers were always excited to do anything my parents wanted to do. I like the Iowa State Fair. My parents loved taking us to the Iowa State Fair. I thought it was the most boringest thing that I've ever
yeah.
been to.
When
and
did
I
that
just-
start? Because I guarantee it didn't start right away. Like you probably
No.
liked being
I was like
the
probably
oldest.
a preteen, like 12, and I thought it was too cool for the Iowa State Fair.
Yeah, when did you turn into a bitch? No.
Well, I'm asking because all of
Shade.
my kids still love to hang out with us all the time, and that's like their favorite thing. And I'm like, I know this has got to stop.
Well, see, and
So-
like
Yeah.
we couldn't go off and venture on ourselves, so like we had to go see the farm machinery.
Go look at the butter cow.
Yeah, the butter cow.
Yeah, no, it was the farm machinery. My mom wanted to look at 4-H exhibits, and I'm
The
like,
quilting? Was she a
yeah,
quilter?
like just looking at everything, and I'm like, "Ugh, cool. Like I just didn't care.
Yeah.
There was nothing exciting to me, and
So that was geared towards more your parents, and then
Yes.
you were just like tagging along.
I had to be there because, yeah.
Yeah, because you wanted to go see the giant fruits and stuff. This pumpkin is 1,300 pounds this year.
Cool.
That's where you wanted to go.
Yes.
I see how it is.
So yeah, it's hard to decide if a child is just gonna, you're gonna come and you're
They
gonna.
can stay home with me.
Nicholas,
I don't
you're
wanna go
coming
either.
I forgot that
too.
you're
I don't
like
wanna
a
go
non.
either.
Yeah.
You're coming, whether you like it or not.
I don't
Calvin's
wanna.
also a big party pooper, and he never likes to do stuff.
That's
Well, it's
crazy.
because I work all day to buy a
I
nice
know,
house, and the
I
one time I have time off to enjoy my nice house, you guys are, it'd be fun if we fucking left the nice house. No,
yeah,
it wouldn't.
But that is definitely because like how we're all being raised is very different.
Mm-hmm.
Because Nicholas, your parents like to stay home, and their parents like to stay home too.
It's awesome. That's why we invented homes. The cavemen were outside, and they're like, it'd be dope. A fucking
If we were
house.
inside,
This
Hear
is
me out.
exactly the conversation I've had with my wife like 14 times.
There's
Yeah.
there's not bugs everywhere. I'm not getting attacked by mosquitoes. It's
Yeah.
perfect.
You're
Calvin
the
used to yell at me,
Crude's
too.
dad. That's your Disney character, the Crude's dad.
Calvin used to yell at me
Always
too
wanted to
because
stay
he'd
in the
come home
cave.
from work, and then I'd be like, you know what we should really do? We should go to Target and just walk around, or like go to somewhere and just do
Oh
walk
my
around and
God.
be together and do something. Because I've been here all day,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would like to go somewhere,
Yep.
and I would like to not do it alone. So we should all go. Let's
See,
make it a
and-
party.
Growing up, that was our thing on Sundays. We'd go out,
Mm-hmm.
and it would just do a different town, go to their park, go to their lake.
Mm-hmm.
But then we had to come back home around 5, so my dad could do chores.
I mean, that's a nice idea.
Yeah, so like I'm always used to every Sunday we just kind of venture off.
I still don't understand.
I think it's a small town
Every time
farm thing.
Hannah's
No.
like, that fucking town 3 towns over, 45 minutes away, just got a new pool. We should go. What's wrong with the pool here?
It's adventure.
They got a new one. I bet it's a hole in the ground with water in it. Just fucking
That's a
spitballing
lagoon.
here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand.
I mean,
Well, and
That's
I
just
also
what I grew up
I
doing.
do, yeah.
I also understand that I do a lot of traveling. Like for my sport and all that stuff, like I travel so much. And so yes, when I'm home, I just literally just want to be home.
Yeah.
And so I imagine that's very similar to you because you do quite a bit of traveling, Nick. And it's like when I'm home, I just want to. And my wife's like, "What are you gonna do at home?" Absolutely nothing, and it's gonna be awesome.
They hate it. They hate that.
But I also get bored.
Yeah, we've
I
been in
get
our
bored.
house. We've
I
been in
don't
the
know the last
house.
time that I was bored. I truly
Okay.
don't know the last time that I was bored.
Fair, but I feel like I don't want to do just the same thing every single day all the time.
I have a question. As wives, do you ever just like get mad at your husband because he's not entertaining you?
No, I don't think
Never.
so. I mean, well, I don't get mad at him, but usually that's just when I go and lay on him and be like, hey, how's it going? And then we just be goofy and mess around. Not like
I feel
dirty,
like that's
but
a
we just
common
like, you
thing.
know,
That
make jokes.
entertaining? Like entertaining, you mean?
Like I feel
I'm just like, pay
there's a
attention to me.
significant amount of wives or girlfriends or whatever that like if they're at home bored and the husband is also home but he's doing like playing video games or just being content, it's like they're mad at him because they're bored and he's not entertaining them.
No, I don't need him to entertain me. I just am like, we haven't interacted in a couple hours. Maybe we should go like have a conversation, or we should have a tickle fight, or like, you know,
A tickle
just
fight.
you know.
How many of those do you win with your jujitsu
Never.
coach husband?
I never, and I usually end up angry because he jujitsus me somehow, and I'm like, how dare you use that against me when you know I can't defend myself? So then I pinch him or I scratch him really hard, and he's like, oh, why would you do that? I'm like, well, that's what you get. That's the only way I can defend myself.
Yeah, my claws.
Or I lick him. He doesn't like that either. So,
No.
but there you go.
Interesting.
So never are we like, I'm never like mad at him for not entertaining me. Or is that, are you?
I don't know, Nicholas.
Oh yeah. For sure.
Is she? How explain? Because how do you mean?
Explain your POV.
Is she actually angry, or is she just like, man, I'm bored. Let's do something together, type of thing?
Oh no, it's like I'm bored. Well, what's wrong? I'm bored. What do you want to do? I don't know.
And
But
that's your
I'm
problem.
gonna be mad at you until you figure out what I want to do and then
Well,
take me
Hannah-
to do it.
I don't
Prankosaurus.
recall. So
Played in the fifth.
2 hours ago. No.
yeah.
I feel like that's pretty common though. Maybe it's just an army thing because that's like the majority of the time where I would hear that complaint was like the wife or girlfriend's at home bored because he's doing army shit for the weekend or
I
whatever.
feel like that would be really annoying.
And for us, I don't think that my wife is ever bored because she always has something planned.
Yeah, she's always got something going on.
She always has something planned out, and so there's always something
Mm-hmm.
to do. So part of that is why I've never been bored. But then also
Yeah.
it's like I have no issue with just being in my own head. Being an introvert, I can just sit and be in my own thoughts and be not bored at all. And that I know that bothers her. She's like, how can you just turn your brain off? It's like, I don't
You
know.
turn
just
your
do
brain
it.
off?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an off
Wow.
switch.
Wow.
If I need to, I can be like, okay, I will think about nothing. And
What?
yeah, it's kind of nice. So,
Wow.
but yeah, I know it.
That's impressive.
Why can't you guys do that?
I don't know, but I use like
I usually do.
I use other
There's nothing
things
going
to
on up
empty
here.
my
It's a
brain. I use like I have to be always watching TV or listening to music or reading or something. Like I can't just sit in silence. It's so overwhelming in
Let's
my
sit
head.
in silence now.
I can't.
I mean, I never get silence, but sometimes, like when I am driving or something, I will literally just listen to nothing. The sound is
What?
like the
Yeah, but
white
then like
You
noise.
do that?
your mind is just like so full, and I'm like, man, I have thought way too much today. I need to turn it off for a minute.
No,
so I'd be
I
like,
have
okay,
a-
let's,
I have
let's
a-
listen to some music.
Those were
I have a
my-
nothing
Quit
box.
quit
that I-
shoving stuff in your. You're like, my mind is so full. I need to shove more in.
No, it
just
turns
stop
off
everything.
the things in my head.
Let it dissipate. The pressure
it turns
lowers.
off the things in my head. Otherwise, there's always
No,
just
it
thoughts.
doesn't.
And
You're just
feelings.
masking it.
No, exactly.
You're putting Axe body spray on. You're not taking a shower.
See, I like that
Exactly.
analogy.
I
Gross.
love
See?
to be
You're
masking.
masking.
You're masking it with music. No,
You
you,
know,
gotta sit in
because-
silence and get rid of it.
No, it's very uncomfortable, and I don't like that
No,
at
do
all.
it while you're driving. Because I remember when I was a hairstylist and I was working a crazy long shift, I would sometimes just sit in my car for a little bit and then just
Yeah, see, she knows.
No,
yeah.
that sounds
Yeah.
terrible.
No,
That's
like
awesome.
it's just
I feel like I would
draining.
be sad.
I was so drained because
Nobody
like
likes
I
that.
had to be like da 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 da.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And
But then
then,
that's
like,
when I go home and watch TikTok.
The minute my car door shuts, I'm like,
Yeah.
and then I just kind of I drive and I'm like, how'd I get home? Like I literally don't remember how I.
Yeah.
I don't remember starting the car.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, but then that's why I watch TikTok, because then I'm like, oh man, I gotta just blank slate. I don't want to think about stuff.
We're back to the lead plate people. again.
I don't want to
There we
think
go.
about stuff. That's sad. How depressing.
to not think.
No, to think.
Oh yeah.
There's too many thoughts up there.
Yeah,
too many
that is
feelings. It's
depressing.
very
I
uncomfortable.
think, therefore I am. This blows.
Yeah. turn it off. Turn it off.
so terrible. I hate it. I hate every second of it.
Okay, what was this topic about weddings you guys want to talk about?
Oh, so okay. I
get
was
offensive.
I was watching on TikTok actually, and I should have written these people's names down. It was somebody who was doing a podcast. It was like 3 women, and they were talking about child-free weddings.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What do
And
we
I
think about them
just-
first?
Well, okay, so they're okay.
No, just
yes,
say your
okay,
quick
go
answer.
Ahead. Yes, okay, go ahead.
Nathan.
Yes.
What do you think about child-free
Round
weddings?
robin.
Just
Well, I think that the bride and the groom can do whatever the crap they want on the one day that's only for them.
fair.
I agree.
I agree with the caveat of if you're going to play that game, you also forfeit your right to be butthurt if people
Yes.
don't show up.
100%.
And if you're
Without
gonna,
a doubt.
and if you're gonna be that lady that gets mad because your wedding wasn't perfect because somebody didn't make it because you told them that the most important people in their lives couldn't come, fucking that's on you.
Yes.
Bingo.
100%.
So that's like a little okay.
I'm for it if that's what they want.
If that's
but
what they want.
but you yeah,
Actions have
I
consequences.
kind of just like don't really get it though.
to not have kids
Well, you see,
there.
when you're a
Yeah,
bitch,
kind of. Because I feel like, first of all, who has so many people that have kids in their family that it would be actually disruptive?
it only takes one kid.
well,
Really?
I
But,
I
like,
will just
for what? Wouldn't they like leave
You're
the
walking
room?
down the aisle, bum, 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 bum.
But wouldn't
and
they
then-
like that's not the wedding march, by the way.
That
That
was
was
the
like
Imperial Death
I was
March,
just
I know.
saying the Imperial Death
I was
March.
like
March, I
that
know.
was like
I'm aware.
Star Wars or something. That was not.
And
Is
a
that
ringtone.
That
Oh,
sounds actually
boy, oh,
kind of
boy.
similar to the wedding.
No.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
No.
A little bit. If you
No, sing me
slowed
the
it
wedding
down.
song.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
what's the wedding
minor
one?
versus majors, you know.
No. Oh yeah.
One's a minor and one's a major key, so
That's not the same at all.
it's very similar. Very similar.
Actually,
No.
kind of it is. a
But
little
okay,
bit.
but who has like wouldn't okay, so then wouldn't you just leave the room if your child was like
You would hope so. That's why I'm thinking, like, okay, do the
I'm just
people
confused.
hate the children
Have
or
you seen some parents where they're just like
they don't give a fuck?
you've seen parents in restaurants where their kid is just being a fucking menace to society and they're just continuing their conversation, ignoring it like their
Like this
kid
is-
like
this
their
is
kid
normal?
isn't fucking with random strangers while they're trying to eat.
yeah,
Like,
me and
Oh
Sarah
my gosh.
had that. We had that.
I was that's true. I was just
you know what I
thinking
mean?
about that.
It
Yeah,
takes
that's
one
true.
of those.
That's
But,
what I'm
like,
saying. But
wouldn't
they don't hate the
you-
child. They hate that the parent
But
isn't.
some people do
being,
hate kids.
Do
I
they?
hate kids.
Yeah. That's so rude.
like my
After my Gus
kids.
kissed you on the lips, you would say that?
I like a couple kids, but
But I don't think that people really truly hate kids. I think they don't like the way that they were brought up. Like if the parents are
Yeah.
like, nah, this is a fine place
That's
for you
like
to
a
run
parent
it's not
around.
the fact
you.
you're a
I'm
kid,
just-
it's who you are as a person.
Well, I'll
Oh.
even put this in the last year. So my youngest brother got married, and they were debating doing a kid-free wedding.
Really?
But
Why?
yeah, and
Did they say why?
Because she is from a very small family that there's hardly any kids, and then so she doesn't know what to do with them. Is my speculation.
That's fair.
And then my side of the family has 1 trillion kids because I'm one of 8 kids, and then I think there's 22 grandkids right
my
now,
gosh.
and then extended family and all cousins and everybody has kids. So that side there's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of like 60 kids that would have showed up to this wedding, and so they're like, what do we do with
Maybe
this?
like the cost of the food.
Well,
kind of
and,
thing.
and the cost, the size of the venue,
60
the,
kids,
the
that's
rowdiness
like 2
of it.
large pizzas
I
and
know.
4 boxes of macaroni and cheese. Like, come on.
Literally.
Well, you haven't met any of my kids.
2 more sheet cakes. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, no, but so
They
and
really don't eat a
They
lot.
did. Well, my kids eat a
Yeah,
ton.
but your
We
kids are
haven't-
older.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
older.
my kids haven't been able to eat off the kids menu in a long time though. But no. So we kind of encourage them, do whatever you want. But my just younger than me brother did say like, it'll be one or the other of us because they have so many kids.
Yeah.
They have 8 kids also, and so they're like, we
busy.
can't do this. So they ultimately did allow the immediate family members to bring kids and stuff just because they wanted us all there. 'Cause like you said, it's
Yeah.
like you're gonna exclude a lot of people if
Yeah.
you say no kids.
Right.
But I also said do what you want, because if you don't want kids there and if you want to be out late, dancing and drinking and doing all this and having fun and having your party the way you want it without kids, say that.
But also,
you're just
don't
gonna
people usually like take their kids home?
Usually.
and not stay until
Usually.
like 11 o'clock. So like, if the whole point was that you
Sometimes.
want to like be partying, then like kids won't even really be there, will they?
No,
Like, I
they're
kinda
usually
just-
outside running
but
around
I think
and
I
entertaining
think the
themselves.
counter argument to that is like you want your friends that do have kids to be able to party till midnight
I
with
see.
you, so you would
Yeah.
prefer they got a babysitter, so they didn't have to leave at
Then why
8:30
wouldn't
to
you
go
just
put the
like
kids to bed.
tell them
not
that
enough
that would be
room on the
really great
invitation.
if you could?
Yeah.
I would really love to have you there. I hope that you get maybe that's mean. I hope you get a babysitter so that you can stay for the.
Yeah,
Not
the
enough room on
fine
the
print.
invitation.
You would
fine
text
print.
them.
You're gonna have
or
like
a
the
phone call if you're a
FTC
phone call.
disclosures
Yes.
like at the end of a
There's an
pharmaceutical
asterisk.
commercial
There's
where he's
an
got
asterisk.
3 paragraphs he reads really fast.
There's
As
an
the
asterisk,
commercials,
and
like,
they put all that in
running in
like
the pasture.
Frolicking in the pasture.
Size 3
Symptoms
font.
may include diarrhea, anal leaking, boils, ass boils.
I don't know.
It's too many
I
instructions.
don't know.
Yeah, it's when you just send the little QR code that you scan, and it's like, oh, here's all of the background
Here's the fine
information for
print,
your
yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, something that my Calvin's cousin did that I really appreciated was she had some people who volunteered to be babysitters at the venue.
That'd be nice.
So like that was when Gus was a baby. So Gus was there and he got to be watched by these people. And then I was still breastfeeding at the time. So I could go up there like once every 2 hours and be like, hey, just here to nurse or like change a diaper or whatever. Like that was really nice. And I realized that that's not necessarily possible for everyone, but
Yeah, and that works good for like the actual ceremony versus
Oh, yeah.
having the party
was
afterwards.
for the party,
you know,
too.
Well,
nice.
but your kids still have to go to bed. Like
that's true. That was a late night.
so that fixes some of the problem, but not all of it. Yeah. But no, I'm all about having the party that you want, just knowing that you might not have the party that you want. So
Yeah, man, I
know.
wish that we had somebody who was really pro or con one way or the other, like really strongly. You're not a good enough guest.
no,
I'm just kidding. Cut that out. Sorry. Sorry.
I don't know. I see. Growing up for weddings for me, it was like a literal like just. It was so fun because
I don't remember going to a ton of weddings, honestly.
Oh yeah, my family, 10 kids, or
Yeah,
10,
yeah,
6.
yeah.
Oh no, my dad's side didn't really get married. On my mom's side,
Okay.
no marriages on my dad's side. Yeah, it was just super fun. All of the kids and cousins were just running around playing. But now, as I'm getting older, a lot of these wedding venues, like they're not getting married in the same venue that my grandparents had their 50th anniversary. They're going to like small, intimate weddings that like are just aesthetically pleasing, and so when
Maybe that's part of it.
yeah, so when they're like no kids, it's probably really. I mean,
well, I will say
insurance is
the
probably like high. Like, hey, if you break something,
yeah the
this will
best
cost
wedding that I've ever been
$1.5
to.
million.
Yeah, the best wedding that I ever went to, the most fun that I've ever had at a wedding was at a no kids wedding.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Wait,
it was.
why? But why?
It was. I mean, it was in Des Moines. A couple of our friends that they got married much later in life. They're both had really good jobs, and so they just spent a ton of money. And they're like, we don't want to spend money on your kids. So,
Oh, so-
come or don't. It's a pretty
So,
small
but that
venue,
was because
but it was.
you didn't have your kids
We-
with you, or
it
because
was-
other people didn't have
So
their
we
kids?
are
Oh,
honestly,
sorry.
Yes.
we didn't have any kids at the time. There's plenty of the other people that were there that had kids, but that was without a doubt the most fun I've ever had at a wedding.
And everybody was just wilding out.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
So to that realm, I'm not a huge wedding goer necessarily. It's just one slight step up from going to a funeral for me. It's like there's so many people.
Yeah.
I'm okay with not.
It is boring.
Yeah,
To be
I mean,
honest. I
so
just like. Ugh.
but yeah, that one was really fun.
For-
They had really good food.
For fuck's sake, I just want to go to one wedding reception ever in my entire life. Just one where I can hear the fucking speeches that they're saying. I've never been to a wedding reception where they like they hand the microphone and it's just
Oh yeah.
I feel like
wedding
usually
party
it's the
laughing.
opposite, and they hold it
That's
like way back here so that you can't.
I mean,
really
but
hear
it's never like just set it on your chin and talk.
I've never heard anything. I've never heard a
Really?
speech at a wedding reception ever. I've been to
I feel
50
like
of them.
it's the vows usually they don't hear. I'm like, I want to hear the vows.
I
if there's
feel like a
something
lot of
funny,
weddings
if
don't
there's
actually
something
do
No.
like I don't know
Their
that I've
own
ever been to a
vows?
wedding where they like have their own vows that they.
cool. I've been to a couple, but
I'm
Yeah.
sure it happens. I've just never been to one.
yeah, you guys didn't write your own vows, did you?
No,
No,
I don't
that's
know
what
if
I thought.
Catholics do that. Do they?
Probably not.
This is just the basic, in sickness and health, blah blah blah.
Get
Richer
out.
or poorer.
Yeah.
Go have
Yeah,
9
yeah.
kids. No condoms. Go to confession.
Yeah. So I don't know. Weddings have just kind of changed a lot for me, and all the grandkids, they're all spread out. So not only do we get invited to a wedding, but I'm like, okay, it's 2 hours away.
Yeah, how do you handle that when it's like far away?
You don't.
You don't.
Do you take someone with you and be like,
Nah.
hey, Mom, can you come with us? And
Nope.
so you just don't go?
Don't go.
I feel bad.
Yeah, I mean, depending on who it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Quit trying to be different.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you mean?
The other 49 family members have all had their weddings within a 30-mile radius of where everybody lives, just because you want to be quirky and different and make it inconvenient for fucking everybody. It's not okay.
So you're anti-destination wedding.
100%.
Ooh,
I don't
I'm-
know what it is about weddings, and I'm not trying to be rude, but women and their birthdays. It's not men, it's always women. Every fucking
You
time.
are
It's
trying
like,
to be rude.
I don't care what we do as long as it's inconvenient for fucking everybody involved. Every time.
I kind of
100%.
can agree with about destination weddings.
So
I'm like,
that's where I'll
man,
disagree.
am I spending
I
$3,000?
love the idea of a destination wedding.
Really?
too.
Yeah,
But as a,
just
as
so
a-
it's just like a handful of people.
For you
Or the
for
guest.
guests?
I don't care about the guests.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're coming at it from like if you were going to get married,
Yeah,
this would be fun.
So well, and one of my good friends is getting married in Cancun, like in
so
a
you're gonna
handful
pay
of
like
weeks.
$3,000 to
Well,
go to this
Diana's
wedding.
gonna go. I'm actually gone that weekend. They rushed it. They gave us like a month out, and like we would love for
So
you to be
she's
there.
gonna spend
Oh.
$1,500 on herself to go to this wedding.
Yeah.
That to me is just insane. Even if we had a lot of money, I would feel like just what?
But
Yeah,
it's all
but they-
You're
but they had-
expecting me to pay so much money?
They invited like 20 people and are expecting the immediate family to show up, kind of thing.
Oh my
Like
gosh.
it's a small thing, and I'm all about that.
Honestly,
And
even if it
I
was
would
my
encourage my
sister-
kids to elope, and then I'll like, hey, go do whatever the crap you want. Here's the money that I would give you for your wedding. Go do something fun with
That's
it.
true.
I-
And I feel like
I'm
an
that-
elopement is different than a destination wedding.
I would agree.
Potentially.
I'm saying that out of destination wedding, I would actually prefer you do a destination wedding, go do something fun, and it in a fun place, and not care who all shows up.
'Kay.
Followed but at the very top of that list is elope, and then go do something fun. Don't do the whole
Right.
wedding, the whole thing. Just go elope, and then here's a chunk of money that I would give you for your wedding. Go do something fun with it. So
Man, I don't
Weddings
know.
are a
man.
scam.
I
kind of
fully
agree.
agree. It's an excuse.
We got married at the courthouse and it was like $40, and we've been married for almost 10 years.
I got
so
married in the
And,
backyard of my parents' house. My
there you
dad
go.
married us.
Bing, bang,
Yeah.
boom.
Yep. And then I've known people who spend thousands and
Thousands.
thousands divorced within 6 months.
Yeah.
There's people still in debt for the loan
Yes.
they took for the wedding.
They-
if
we
they
were
get to the
just
divorce.
talking about this, that like a huge percentage of people who are divorced are still paying on the loans that they took out for their weddings.
That's
Oh yeah, I'm
insane.
not about the loans for a wedding.
I wish I
for
would have
sure.
known about loans for a
crazy.
wedding.
What?
I would have taken out a loan.
Shut up.
Absolutely not.
Are you kidding?
No, she's not.
I wanted a party bus.
I feel like party buses aren't even that expensive.
I don't know. Well,
I
I,
think
I
you
don't
totally
even think the
could've-
well,
party
my
bus
parents
is
were
loan
like,
worthy
we'll pay
right
for
there. Yeah.
the 4 main important things, and then everything else is kind of up to you guys. And we just didn't have enough money.
Comes to
For,
Hannah spending her own money. Hannah's a communist with your money and a
That's funny.
so yeah, I wish I would have known
don't
about taking out a
know.
loan because I would have went to the bank like
no.
I'd like to take a loan out.
Stop. Are you serious?
1,000%.
That is so terrible.
Nick would have talked me out of it, but then he
He
probably-
would have just said,
But left
"Absolutely
left
not."
unchecked.
Yeah.
He would have.
But he
would have
he would have picked
for
up
it.
some extra shifts and like, here's the money. Here you go. Yes, you would have. You would have, Nicholas. You would have.
You would, because you're such a simp. It's like a little atrocious, actually. don't spread that
I
around in
even
your
know
community.
I don't even know what that
but
word means.
It means that you're just like panting after her, like just
that
willing to
mean?
do anything in the world to
Obsessed?
make her happy and keep her from being upset
I'm
and
willing
angry
to
with
do
you.
anything to get her to shut up.
Sure, you can play it that way, but we all know the truth. We all
He's a
know
lover
the
boy.
truth. Yep. It's just secret. It
Yeah.
only comes out when he's drunk.
Okay.
But yeah, I saw a Facebook status and a girl was very proud that she's not married yet because the divorce rates are crazy. But I'm like, Okay, but
Wouldn't you want to be the change?
yeah.
If she's proud, why is she bringing it up?
True. That's
Why are you spending so much time thinking about it? If you,
yeah, that's true. She's probably like, man, why don't I have a partner? Gosh darn it, I'm so proud of being
I'm
single.
proud of it
Yeah.
now.
that's the class. It's fine. I didn't want to go to the party I wasn't invited to.
Oh, dang.
I didn't want to go anyways.
So
That's 1,000%
true.
what that
I've
is.
turned down many a suitor. Yeah,
She probably has.
they're really real.
She probably has a profile on every single dating site. Hinge. What's that other one? That other one? Bumble. All those other
Craigslist.
ones. Yeah, Craigslist.
Farmers
Looking
Only.
for sugar daddy.
Aw.
Oh,
Okay,
Christian Spangle.
that's hilarious. I never thought about that.
What?
They're like, oh, I'm proud not to be married. I'm so sad.
She probably is.
Probably.
There's like,
But then
who doesn't want to have a built-in best friend partner for their whole entire life that they just are around all the time?
but there's still a lot of people that kind of ignore the red flags too
Yeah.
of everything, and they're just like, oh, he'll change when we get married, and
No.
or she'll change when we get,
Do
it's-
any of
can
your
change
partners
them.
have red flags?
yeah, I can.
I feel like there's a lot of women that get married because they want a wedding, not
Oh, for
necessarily because
sure.
they want to be married to that guy.
Absolutely, 100%.
What do they say?
And men are just dumb.
They want the
and they're just
ring,
like,
not the
"Okay."
marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of people like that.
See, find you a girl that wants to elope. That's what I say. Yeah.
Do your
been-
partners have red flags? Speaking of, I just am curious.
Wait, what?
I'll tease Diana about it next time I see her. Does your partner have a red flag? Does Hannah have a red flag?
Like what?
Like,
Give-
does she
give me
have
an
a
example.
red flag?
Yeah, give me
Like,
examples.
It's like I've heard of the beige flags. You know, this like almost there, but not
I don't
quite.
even know.
I've heard of
I
that too.
watch.
I've seen a
I
couple.
watch a lot of red flag TikTok, and I feel like
What does that
I
mean?
can't even relate. It's
You are
something that's
chronically
like
online.
I know it's really bad.
I work on the internet and I feel out interneted right now.
bad.
Out internet.
Sorry.
Well, you don't watch TikToks, Nick.
I know.
You
We
should.
watch
It's great.
TikTok.
I should not.
You are.
I love
You
it.
absolutely should not.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think
It's so speedy. You're just like ting 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 ting.
one.
See how your eyes just bulged like you were Gollum looking at
Okay,
the fucking ring?
listen
That's not
here.
good.
Who told me that? Someone told me. I think it was you. And you're like, I was like telling her something really excitedly. And she's like, your eyes just got so big.
No,
and
not
I was
me.
like,
Not me.
no, dang it.
Not me.
And now when I talk to the kids, they look at me like this, and I'm like, oh shoot, they got that from me.
Nope.
They looked at me too much. It was you.
No, it was not.
It had to have been you.
No, it wasn't.
Who else would it have been?
Calissa.
No, Calissa wouldn't have told me that.
She would have.
Maybe it was Calissa.
I think so.
It was one of you two, I think.
It was not me.
Because it was when we were talking. It was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. I'm pretty sure it was you. I'm pretty sure.
Red flag right here.
Right, yeah,
I think
red
it was
flag.
like literally maybe the day that we like first met Calissa together, and you were, and I was telling her something, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, your eyes just got so big," and I was like,
I remember everything. So
"Well, clearly not." Anyways,
I would say
does
that
Hannah have a
the-
red flag? Does Diana have a red flag?
I would say that the worst thing is Diana wants help cleaning and doing all the things, but I don't do it the exact way that she wants.
understandable.
And so, I mean, granted, that's what she does for a living, and she's incredibly good at it. Like, she owns a business and does that all the time. I don't. Like, so I'm trying my best. It's like, all right, I think it looks perfect. She's like, did you dust up on the top ledge? It's like, those ceilings are 10 feet tall. No, I didn't get up on a chair and dust all the top corners. It's like, did you wipe the inside of that cabinet? No, I did not. Like, it looks good though, right? It's like, that's not the point. It's got to be actually clean, not
I'd
look
love to have someone clean my house, but then I'd kind of get self-conscious and
Oh
like
my
pick
gosh.
up a little bit. So I'm like, okay, you don't see how we really live.
The other day, like,
You would clean the whole fucking house before the cleaning lady showed up because you didn't want to be embarrassed by the cleaning lady.
last
finding-
week.
That's
Yes.
something you would do.
like
Yes.
last week or 2 weeks ago, I was here helping Hannah out, and I was like cleaning some stuff for her. And she's like walking behind me and like watching me while I do it. And I'm like, get out of here, freak. And then I'm making sure that I'm like asking a lot of questions. Like, is this how you want it done? What do I use for this? Is this this? Is this? Because I'm like, she's going to be a freak if I don't do it the right way. So I was like, I have to
Oh,
be on
Sarah,
my game.
you did a good job.
Okay, great.
Way
I
better
just
than
vacuumed.
Nicholas.
Ooh, boy.
See?
If I
Beige
don't
flag.
do a good enough job, you can do it.
Oh, boy. Well, she couldn't that day.
Yeah.
Huh?
She couldn't that day.
That's different. But, the
But
rest
what
of
does
the
it
time,
say about you that she didn't trust you to wipe your own countertops?
She's a psycho.
No, Sarah literally
married-
sus.
we've
No,
been married
Sarah
for
literally
10
sus.
years. I
Sarah
ain't
wiped
used-
our counters, and then you went to go make something in the microwave, and you left
I was so angry with you.
crumbs.
I was like, you had come in like 10 minutes after I wiped all the counters.
Clean.
You made something in the
sparkling.
microwave and you left a giant glob of cheese on the counter. And I was like, what in the heck is wrong with you?
How
that
dare
just
you use
left
your own kitchen?
This
Yeah.
giant
How dare
nasty
you?
on the counter after I just cleaned
She
it.
literally just cleaned it.
You were there when I was like walking through
what
cleaning
is the
stuff.
appropriate amount of time after something's cleaned before I can use it, just for future
This
reference?
this is what I was saying.
Give me like how many hours?
Okay, but listen. This is what I was saying earlier. Not to throw Calvin under the bus, but I'm totally going to.
But
He was home
beige flag.
last week and he had breakfast and then he left to go to the gym. And he just left his cereal bowl with some little milk sprinkles at the bottom and a spoon on the table and left. And I walk out of the bathroom like 10 minutes later after he left. And I'm like,
You were in the bathroom for
what
10
in
minutes?
the world? Well, no, I was like getting dressed, taking a shower and stuff. So I just came out of the bathroom.
Sarah took a
Okay, that's fine. Maybe I did. Honestly, I don't remember. But I came out and I texted him and I was like, why would you have just left your bowl on the kitchen table and not walked it to the sink on your way out the door?
It happens sometimes.
What is wrong with you that you did that?
Hannah once left a banana peel on my computer.
But this is what I'm saying.
That was 8 years ago.
I-
This is what
I
I'm
will never
saying.
forget it.
It's like, why
was
are
like,
you
this is out of
doing
the
these things and like being a child and like acting like you
the
can't
most
do this and you're
elaborate
expecting
Mario
me to do
Kart
it?
joke ever. Where you're just being disrespectful.
Exactly. Being disrespectful.
gonna spin
Nick
you
has
out.
disrespected me so greatly that I will never come here and clean your counters ever again. Just FYI.
Dishonor.
Dishonor on your family.
It's honoring you.
Well, and I will say I do that plenty of times in my own house, and I'm even like an incredibly clean person, and I'll be like, I just don't want to do this right now,
But
and
I feel like
I'll come
I
back.
do it because I know that I'm the
Yes.
one that has to clean it up. But
Well-
then the other people do it and they're like, Mom will get it.
Well, I have
That'd be
never had the thought that somebody else is going to do this for me. I know that I'm going to have to come back, and I'm also the one that's home most of the time anyway. So I
That's
also know
exactly.
that. But
What if Diana just did that to you
I
all the
don't
time?
care.
I know it.
I
know the red
truly
flag.
don't care.
What?
I do not care.
What?
It's
Hers
just
or mine?
Hers.
Okay, say it.
What?
You're horrible about like when. So like I'll come home and there'll be dishes in the sink. That's fine. I don't care. Like it doesn't bother me. Dishes are supposed to be in the sink. That's what the fucking sink is for, right?
Yeah,
And I'll go
to
home
some degree.
and like I'll like drink water or something that adds a dish to the sink full of dishes, and then she'll be like, and then I'll go walk off to go do whatever the fuck I was gonna go do. Aren't you gonna do the dishes in the sink? Like, is it an emergency? Do I need to do them now or can I do them later? Well, why wouldn't you do the dishes if you just saw that the sink was full? It's like, because I don't think it's an emergency. If it was an emergency, I feel like you would have done it
You guys
when
have a
you put the
dishwasher.
last dish
Why
in
is
the
your
sink.
sink full of dishes?
Just don't worry about it. Okay?
If I had a dishwasher,
first you have to put
I don't
away
think
the
I'd ever
dishes,
have a dish
and
in
then
the
you
sink
gotta
in
This
my
is
close
life.
it.
this is one of we're the household that washes the dishes before they go in the dishwasher.
Oh, that's true. I could picture that. Yeah.
Rinse.
yeah.
You know what? They say that is actually makes your dishwasher less effective.
Yes.
That's a fucking conspiracy made up
No,
by the fucking
no,
people
the
that sell
dishwasher
you more
needs to know
dishwashers.
Because
has
they
to
have like
sense all
sensors
the food.
inside to know like if it's actually a dirty
That's a
dish or not.
fucking lie.
No,
No,
it's
swear.
not.
I swear.
Lies. I refuse to
Okay,
believe it.
go to the
I don't think that my
manufacturing
dishwasher
companies.
is smart.
Find me a
all.
single.
I will pick up the TikTok link and send
Find
it to
me
you.
a single licensed plumber that will tell me to my
What
face.
does this
No,
have
it's
to do
it's
with
better.
a plumber? Go to the manufacturing
The-
companies
the
and ask.
fucking
And
device that
you know
hooks up to
how-
your household
do you
plumbing,
know
that's what it
how-
has to do with
Do you
it.
know how?
No, this is
do
exactly
you
like
know
people being
how-
like, actually, these are flushable wipes.
Did
There's
you
no
know-
such
no,
thing as
that's
flushable
different.
wipes.
Oh, never
That's a
flush
fucking
your
lie.
wipe.
That's
it's the
different.
same thing, but
I'm
with food.
saying, do you go to the manufacturing company on their website and you see that they have a little chat button at the bottom? You can just go
Do you-
click
do
and
you
say,
go to-
chat, hey, does my thing have a thing in it that makes it so that it knows that there's dirty dishes in there? And they'll say, yes, sir, they do.
Do you go to fucking Cottonelle's website and hit the chat button and be like, hey, are these wipes actually flushable?
No,
and then go with
because-
what they're saying? No, because
No.
they're fucking lying, just like the
Because
people with the dishwasher.
I have, no.
Okay, yes, 1,000%. Yes.
You don't go to
No.
the people that make the thing to ask them the questions. You go to a
Right.
third party. Yeah.
That's probably
That
true.
has to
But
fix it. Yeah.
The
even
mu-
still.
The motherfucker that's got to fix it. That's who you ask.
Well,
You know how many I
Okay, so
I don't
ask
know
a
for
plumber.
sure. I guarantee fucking to you, every plumber on the planet is like, please at least kind of sort of rinse your dishes off so your pipes don't get completely full of food and clogged up and be
And-
fucking disgusting.
And don't put
Guaranteed.
anything down the garbage disposal. Literally nothing.
But,
Everything
that's what
goes
it's
into
for.
the. No, it is not.
No,
Every
it's-
plumber
Thank
in the
you.
entire world will
Thank
say,
you.
"Do not
I
put
don't
stuff
understand
down
what
the
is it-
garbage
what is it
disposal."
for then?
It's literally for like you're saying, the
Crumbs?
barely bit of rinsing that you do. That's what
Yeah.
the garbage
You
disposal
know
is
what?
for.
I was adamant about buying a garbage disposal when we replaced our sinks a couple years ago. And Calvin was like, man, it's too expensive. Like, I don't think we can. And now I'm like, well, apparently it was pointless.
It's important to have one. You should
Oh.
never, but like, oh, I burned the chili. Putting an entire thing of chili down the sink. That
Does
has
anybody
happened
do
once.
that?
Yeah,
People
it's
do that?
happened once.
When Nick and I bought this house, I think the lady, she just like shoved everything,
All her food down
all
the
her
garbage
food down the
disposal.
garbage.
Yeah,
Ew.
you never put stuff down, especially like rice. I legitimately
Rice?
rice people that
Why
put,
the hell?
It
because
expands.
it
That'd be
expands and it
scary.
clogs. So I was
And it gets
literally
gummy.
up into my arm of my last house, cleaning out the the waste
Hell yeah.
from the basement because it was like somebody put
Ew.
a couple of bowls of rice down and this
Wow.
nothing was draining, so I had to go cut open a few of the sections and then clean all that out, and I was swimming in it. It was disgusting.
Wow.
Sometimes I hate that I know how to do crap.
Well, dang. Because I really wanted a garbage disposal, but I feel like
Get
now it's
one.
kind of pointless.
You
Get
can, but
one,
like
but
like
then
a
you
little
still
crumbs
gotta,
on the
but you
cereal
still
bowl.
have
Now I
to.
feel like it's pointless.
Well,
Because I just want to be dumping
You
stuff
don't
down
be
there.
shoving a rotisserie chicken down
No,
there.
no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
bones
like
and all. Yeah.
Yeah,
when my
literally. I
kids
think
put
that
their
lady
dishes
did.
in the sink and it still has like 3 pieces of pancake on it, like I just want to be able to wash that down the drain and
Ooh,
No.
no,
rub it all up.
no,
That's what I want.
No.
no.
Well, they should make something that does that because that's what I want.
A
I
trash
don't,
can.
you cannot liquefy.
$3.99 at Walmart.
You cannot liquefy stuff enough for it to go down the drain. Yeah.
Pancakes, you might be good. They're nice and spongy,
That
fluffy.
stuff
and
made out of
porous.
batter that you add water to and then it turns into a solid. You think that's a good idea to
Oh,
stick down a
true.
water pipe?
Well, to be fair, I make my own
and
pancake
then also
batter.
expands to
I make my own
fill
pancake
whatever
batter,
gaps.
so-
that's-
Yeah,
no.
no pancakes. Sorry,
It's like,
Sarah.
oh, I'm gonna
dang.
put this pig fat down there. I've made bacon. I'm gonna pour this down the drain.
Oh, I used to live with someone who would put grease down their drain. And I'm like, you can do that? And then
No.
I went to
like,
Nick immediately. I'm like,
no.
Nick, and Nick, he's always
So-
been my logical person.
If you do that, you have to immediately chase it with like 5 gallons of scalding hot water just so it becomes somebody else's problem. Like because it'll get it out of your house,
No,
but it
so
will
what
still be a problem.
happens-
You said boiling water. I guess on TikTok there was like, oh yeah, to really deep clean your drains, put boiling water down your sink. And I was watching, I'm like, that kind of makes sense.
People
and
are
Nick was
retarded.
like, don't you ever do that. I'm
Wait,
like, why? Nicholas?
It's a fucking plastic pipe. What do you
Oh,
mean
that's
why?
true.
It will warp your pipe
That's true.
to the nth degree.
I forgot about that.
And this girl,
Hey, dump
she-
I don't
boiling
think-
water all over your frosted over windshield
Ours
in the
are
morning. That way you don't
mostly-
gotta wait for your car to heat up.
Ours are mostly copper, I think, still, so I don't really
I
think
just,
that'd be a
do you
huge
remember
issue.
when the
but-
Well,
iPhones
copper's
were like
the
fairly
incoming.
new?
All your drains
and
are.
I don't
you
think
could
it is.
download an app to make your iPhone
house is old.
waterproof, and people were like ruining their iPhones because they weren't like at this point phones weren't waterproof. But people thought this app that they downloaded somehow made their phone waterproof, and they
Yeah.
were ruining them. And
Yeah,
it's
so
like,
it's like I downloaded the Hammer app and
Right, yeah.
start beating stuff with it.
so
Yeah.
stupid.
yes.
Forgot what I was going to say before, but interesting.
Oh, I always try to like leave a comment like, never flush flushable wipes down your drain.
Never eat yellow snow.
Don't don't pour boiling water down your sinks, and never close the lid on your crock pot while it's cooking.
Oh, the handles.
Yes.
Oh, see, I just learned that.
Oh my goodness.
Becomes a pressure cooker real fast.
I didn't know that. Makes sense, but I didn't know.
I don't. Okay.
I don't know why that would be like
But
a
then
given.
it becomes
Remember
a
the time I
segment
showed
of-
up to Holly's and you guys were having a bonfire with fucking green treated lumber?
No.
Like, what are you guys doing? We're roasting marshmallows. You're roasting marshmallows over treated 2x4s.
How
Was I
many
there?
gallons of starter fluid did that take?
Bro, I don't even know.
Was I there?
I get no, you weren't. But
Okay.
I get there. I was like, what are you guys?
Because that stuff does
I'm
not light.
excused.
I don't think it's that big of a deal. The stuff that you put on wood to make it last for 30 years outside and not rot, you want to burn it and breathe that in and think there's nothing wrong with
And
that.
put it in your marshmallows.
Oh, I guess when you put it that way, like, I don't want people thinking.
I mean, it's bad enough that you light the marshmallow on fire and then eat all of that. That's bad enough, much
That's
less.
disgusting.
Oh, most people do that.
That's
This
disgusting.
just reminds me of a 2020 segment. They're like, is warnings just becoming too dumb for people? Like, don't use this
people
as
are
a
too
ladder.
dumb for- yeah.
Yeah. And, yeah.
Yeah.
That's where Nick is at. He just looks at everything
mean,
like, why would you do that?
Man, that's but like, okay, the crock pot thing, those have a
Bro.
latch on them. Like, why
Bro.
wouldn't you assume that you latch it?
Oh, I switched. I got a different phone. Okay.
Wait,
I'm
really?
At the store. Yeah, I got the Pro.
Oh,
so,
okay.
The tiny.
the smaller phone. So I got this
Oh,
Pro,
well,
and I'm
that's
sitting
dumb.
there, and it's like me, some other dude that obviously just got off of his construction work job at like 5:30, 6 o'clock at night, and it's just us and the 3 Verizon people there, and this fucking older woman comes in, like late 60s, 70s, old.
That's not even that old.
And she walks in with a power strip, like the one you plug in. There's
no.
like
Yeah,
6
yeah,
more
yeah.
plug-ins. She comes in with that and her phone charger. And I'm looking at her, I was like, oh, this is going to fucking be good. So I'm just like, he's like transferring my shit over on the phone. I'm just like paying attention to this conversation over on the left. And the manager comes up, I was like, oh, can I help you, ma'am? And she goes, yeah, this is my 3rd time coming in here. The chargers that you guys sell here don't work. And he's like, what do you mean? Like you plug it in and it won't charge your phone? And she goes, no, I can't even get it to plug in. And he's like, what do you mean? And she grabs the fucking, the cube, the charging block, and just like smashes it against where it's supposed to plug in, like a fucking chimpanzee trying to rub 2 fucking rocks together. And the manager just grabs it from her and folds the prongs out. 'Cause you know how they fucking fold? He folds it out and plugs it in, and she goes, and then storms off.
And then does the same thing with the
She
USB.
fucking drove there, bro.
That
You
wasn't
shouldn't be
even-
allowed to drive.
That wasn't even like a phone charger.
How
though.
are
That
you
was like
that
an
fucking
iPad
dumb?
charger. Because
No,
that's
just
a
like-
huge brick.
No, the little phone
The
chargers
little
now,
bricks don't have-
Yeah, they do.
They do?
All
They
the
have
ones
a
that
lot.
come out now, they fold over because somebody got sued because they stepped on it or whatever.
Oh
so now
my
now they
gosh.
all fold in. But yeah,
That's the
she
most
couldn't
annoying
figure
thing.
out how to unfold the prongs to her cell phone charger.
I feel
Drove
so bad for
across
cell
town.
phone people.
Why didn't she
Oh, it's so
Google
funny.
it?
Well, her phone was
she's
probably
old. 'Cause her
dead.
phone was dead.
It's funny to us.
Obviously.
She probably didn't have a computer because she's 70. She's ancient.
Funny to us, but like I have great aunts, and they're like, if my Facebook isn't working, I just go to my local Verizon store, and they're like, they don't even fuck about your Facebook.
Speaking of
They
old
don't.
people and Facebook, my grandma posts so many of those AI posts. It's like literally 10 a day. And she
What's AI? What does that mean?
They're just AI pictures or AI generated content that just looks
And
kind of
they're
cool.
horrible. I mean, it looks cool, but then you take a closer look and
Yeah,
like,
I
what?
mean, it's very clearly this is not a real picture. And my grandma's like, "Oh, praise the Lord! Look at all this." And it's
Oh,
like,
no.
Grandma, you are going to get scammed.
That's Calvin's grandma, too.
100%. You are.
Yes.
I mean, she has fallen for many scams so far. Somehow she's not, actually had any money, but she's like resharing all of these scam posts. Like, why?
no.
And they wonder why their Facebook is hacked.
Yeah, yeah, it's happened a couple of times.
She's like, I have my 3rd new Facebook account in the last year. I just don't know why I keep getting hacked.
Literally. Oh my goodness.
Oh boy.
I can't wait to be old and whatever new technology that I just refuse to learn. I'm gonna try.
You don't know how to drive your hover
It
car
will
yet?
definitely.
Yeah, exactly.
That will be me as well. And Calvin will be like, "What's wrong with you? Why do I have to keep doing this for you?" He already says that to
I
me.
mean,
I'm just
I've
like,
always been an early adapter, so I don't know if that's going to work because there are old people that know how to do stuff. But at the same time, I'm
And
like,
it is impressive.
I think that
and I
think
do
that
commend them. I'm like, wow, look at you with the flip phone, like this new smartphone.
Yeah,
that, like-
yeah.
And I have seen a couple old people with them. I'm like, that's so
crazy
cool.
is it that we are now going back to flip phones
I love it.
with a touch screen, but it's a flip phone. Like how? What?
I wanted one so bad.
Why?
Because I think it's cool.
Why?
Nostalgia.
It does make the selfies
Why?
better.
Why?
Because
Why do you figure?
like the new one that, not the one that folds open and is huge,
The
but
one
the
that
one that
folds in
folds
half.
like
Yeah.
the one that folds in half. So when it folds in half, it's got the good camera and it's got a screen. So like your selfie camera is now your back camera, and your back camera is like 20 times better than your actual quote unquote selfie camera on a normal phone. So
You know
like
what
that's
I
one
do?
advantage.
If I have to use my back camera, like if I do my makeup posts or whatever, I just take like 75 photos, hope for the best, and then I go through them one by one. And I'm like, oh, that one's blurry. Oh, that one's, my face is a little to the left. Oh, that one's a little to the right. Yep, that's what I do.
iPhone will
It
never
works.
do
It gets it done.
Nicholas has got to bounce to pick up the
I'm gonna
kids.
go pick up kids.
Bye,
enjoy.
loser.
But yeah, I definitely would love
Dang.
a flip phone, but iPhone
I think you're just crazy. I just don't get it.
looks super fun.
I don't know.
Well, I like the technology. I've always been a huge supporter of technology that's new and innovative and different because I just like all those sorts of things. And so the screen that bends and it's meant to bend and doesn't just break down after a little while, like that I think is cool technology.
But
So
like, what's in there that made it do that? That like scares me a little bit. That's like AI to me, where I'm like, what crazy, like scary, potentially deathly thing is going to come out of this?
There's some cool videos around it. It's a little bit over my head, and I'm even kind of a nerd about it. So, but it's fascinating. All these sort of things I love. I love all sorts of new technology. I'm not even a huge fan of like Teslas, for instance.
No, I
but
hate
I also
Teslas.
know that there's groundbreaking technology that came out of creating those. They're not more green than anything. They're not doing,
Yeah.
but the technology itself is really cool and probably will lead to something better in the future. So why not support, those versus just I'm doing it to save the planet? Because as of right now, it's not any better for our planet.
Right.
No.
But it's great technology that is a
It's
stepping
always
stone.
evolving.
Yeah, it's a
always.
stepping stone. And so that's where I just
That's a good
I'm a
way to
nerd.
think about it, because I feel like I'm very pessimistic and I'm always just like thinking of the negatives, and I'm not
Well,
like,
yeah, there's
pairing
tons
it
of-
with a
there's-
potential positive
there's
as well.
always, it's even like different renewable energies and stuff like that, the wind farms and everything, and everybody's like, well, they suck actually, and off of I-35 for a long time there was the graveyard for all of the and I don't know what they did with those. They probably took them out to the ocean and dumped them, but whatever they did with them, I don't know. But that's like a stepping stone for figuring out what works and what doesn't, because eventually I think that wind energy and turbines and all that stuff will be at a level that makes sense. Currently it doesn't, but you have to go through those areas. It's the same thing with gas engines. They've gotten so much better, so much more
Solar.
power. So yeah, all of these things, you have to go through those stepping stones to get where you want to go. But it's not there yet. And that's where a lot of people are like, it's not there yet, we need to stop it. It's like, well, you're never going to get there if you don't,
Sure.
granted, you don't roll it out as this is the end solution like a lot of people
But I
do.
feel like that's what always
And-
happens.
And no, it's not there. But if you look at it as it's not there yet versus it's never going to be there. So I look at it, it's not there yet. And so we need to keep going, but we don't need to mass produce all the stuff that's not there yet, because it's solar or it's quote unquote, wind power. It's all renewables. It's like, but it's really garbage where it's at currently. But can it evolve? Can it get better? Yes. So I know that was a weird tangent of mine, but
No, but I agree.
My
I
mom
agree.
gave me a bunch of my old cell phones from high school, and
gosh.
like just holding that, I'm like, I can't believe I held this brick,
Oh,
and
they-
like
They
just
were
holding your
heavy.
holding your old phone, and I had a case on it,
Oh my.
and I'm like, just the difference between from 2007, 8, and then to 2024.
So did you have to do the T9? Did you ever text with T9?
Oh, yes,
I
absolutely,
love
100%.
T9.
Dude,
I do too.
So
Yes,
it was
so
weird.
easy.
I had to do it on my phone to put in a passcode for something I was doing online, but I had to do it on my phone. And so
Oof.
it's like you had to do the essentially T9 texted in. I was like, I still like my body still just knows
Muscle
how to T9.
memory.
Yeah, I was like, I did not
And
realize
it's
that I
weird
could
'cause
still
it's-
do that.
that was predictive typing, and
Yes.
they like nailed it.
Yeah,
But Nick, he never understood it, so he literally just went.
he did the
Three
he did-
numbers.
Honestly,
click,
I
click,
liked
click,
that
click.
too, though, because
know.
I memorized those. Then I was like,
Yeah, my cousin Link, who is quite possibly the smartest person I've ever met, but he always did the
Yeah.
click 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 click.
No,
I
no,
mean,
no,
he would just fly, and he could type so fast, but he couldn't do the T9, the predictive texting.
Oh my
He just got
goodness.
so used to it doing the
Yeah.
regular way.
No.
But
No, and then it was game changer when phones were sliding up and you got the full QWERTY keyboard.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had a slide up one.
I had a
Nice.
BlackBerry.
You did? So did my
Yeah.
mom, and I was like, wow, these are the coolest things ever.
When I was doing construction
some-
management, I got my BlackBerry because I felt official.
But how did you put your like big thumbs on those tiny keys?
It-
Oh,
We
they were
just
so
managed.
little.
It's weird how we just like
Yeah.
little buttons never really.
Yes.
I feel like even then I was like hitting buttons all the time. that
I
shouldn't have been.
did fat finger quite a bit, especially on that bad boy. I mean, I fat finger enough on a full size keyboard,
Yeah, true.
but no, it's really bad on those little tiny phones. I had one of those, and I had another like Palm Pilot version of the phone, so I had both
Cool.
of those.
Palm Pilots.
But that Palm Pilot one was fun. That was better than because it was like the first realm
have the
of touch
stylus
screen.
too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it had the stylus, you could do the touch screen stuff.
Yeah.
I never used the Palm Pilot for anything, but I thought it was cool.
I
yeah.
always wanted just to touch it. I'm like, I just want to like learn how to do it. And then I saw my first iPhone at Washington D.C. because for our 8th grade trip, we went to see, Washington, D.C. was the 8th grade trip. And there was an old man. He looked so wealthy. He was wearing like a black tuxedo and everything. And he was just holding his iPhone, like whatever, and just like learning how to touch.
Dude,
And I'm
those
like,
iPhone ones are so funny. Looking back on those were the worst design of all time, but I wanted one so bad.
But who'd you have for your carrier? Because I had US Cellular, and they didn't carry them for years.
Sprint. And so we had a similar
Is that
issue
why?
with Sprint.
Yes, they didn't carry them for years. Like
It was,
they weren't
it was
partnered
only
with
AT&T
Apple.
that had them.
Yeah.
It was only AT&T that had them
And then I think
for a long
Verizon
time.
had them for a while after that, but then like nobody else had them. And then all of a sudden everybody had them.
Yeah,
So I was like,
once they figured out, we can sell exponentially more phones
Yeah.
by opening it up to all carriers. Cool, done.
then they did. And then, man, we've never gone back. iPhone all the way.
so what was your last phone before iPhone?
It was a Galaxy, a Samsung Galaxy. Probably one of
'Cause,
the
like-
first generations.
Because, everybody had a Galaxy, but now that you bring that out, that US Cellular, that's weird.
Yeah, because I
Interesting.
wanted one so bad, and I was like, "Mom, we should switch so that I can get an iPhone." And she was like, "No." I was like, "What? What do you mean? Why not? They're so great.
I never touched one, but they look great.
They look so cool. Everyone cool has one." That was one of those only times probably that I was like,
You were
"Man,
influenced
that
and-
trend. Oh, baby, I want that. I want it." Yeah. Not often, but
Interesting conversations.
Yeah.
This podcast.
yeah, that was a kind of all over the place.
Yes. So how should we tie it in? Probably say like our favorite memory that we did as a family growing up.
Oh gosh.
I'll go first. Mine was going.
Okay,
to-
hold on. Make it. Put a lead into that.
Okay.
Don't just like say it out of nowhere.
What do you mean?
I don't know. How is Calissa gonna cut that?
That's her problem.
Yeah.
That's up to her to figure out.
Okay. My favorite memory that we did all the time as a family was go to Lake Hendricks and go swimming in the lake. My mom would pack a sandwich or some picnic food. Really good picnic food. Always had scotcheroos.
See,
I love
that's
a good Scotcheroo.
yeah, that's like an Iowa special because I didn't have Scotcheroo really up until we moved here, and my wife is from Iowa, and I mean it's more of a Midwest thing, but we just didn't have Scotcheroos really. And
Puppy chow?
Puppy chow is a real thing. Yeah, we're all about that life.
I love puppy chow.
I don't like puppy chow.
Oh man, puppy chow is
my
so
favorite.
good,
So
and they have
good.
the peanut butter checks now, which it makes even better puppy chow.
Wow.
Have you ever had the peanut butter checks?
No, I've never had that because I tried. They don't call it puppy chow. They call it
Something else. Because puppy chow is probably trademarked.
yes. They call it something else, and I tried it, and I really didn't care for the.
You know what I
bagged.
really liked? Hannah bought Reese's popcorn one time, and
delish.
holy smokes, I ate that whole bag because I was like, "Wow, this is the best thing I've ever had."
I just have the thing about popcorn. It has to be warm from the first time it was popped. I will eat popcorn until I'm sick, as long as it doesn't, like, as soon as it gets cold,
It's
I think it
yucky.
tastes stale.
I
Yeah.
prefer movie theater popcorn.
I'm a
actually
big fan
just-
of movie theater
I
popcorn.
just bought some from the store that's like the actual theater brand.
They
And I
always
was
say
like,
that never tastes
I
like
hope
it.
it's
It
good.
never.
Well, I'm sending it to school with my kids, so hopefully it's
So
good.
so the guy that owns, so my boss at my job actually owns the Clear Lake Theater. So I'm like, what all do you put into this? Because this stuff is like crack cocaine. And he's like, well, maybe it is crack cocaine that we put in it, but you know, they put all sorts of stuff like coconut oil and like just for the aroma, like the smell,
I think
because
it
they
just has
sell.
to be popped in like that popper.
Yeah, and
So we
they
should all
sell
buy a
so
popcorn machine.
much.
Yes.
They sell so much out of the window. Like people that don't even go to the movies, they just sell it out of the
Yep.
window there.
When I was pregnant, I was really craving popcorn, and I asked people, I'm like, can I just go to the movie theater and be like, just give me your popcorn? And
Oh,
they'd
yeah.
be like, oh yeah, people do it all the time.
Oh yeah.
What? No way. But
Yeah.
it's so expensive.
I
Well,
was
where else are you
craving
going to
it.
get popcorn from the movie
Movie
theater
theater
than other than the movie
I just
theater?
don't eat popcorn then. I just suffer.
Yeah, I mean we.
And like the one time a year that we all go to the movies, I'm like, man, we're balling out. And
making
then,
it rain.
Yeah, well, kind of literally too, because then it really hurts my tummy. It's a lot for this digestive tract.
Okay, favorite memory.
Sorry.
Well, I have one if you don't have one.
Go ahead.
So my family always went to Silver Dollar City in Branson, Missouri. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It is, well, it's actually voted the #2 theme park in all of the United States as of this year.
Like
What's
the
number
best?
one?
Like, yeah, #2.
What's number one?
I can't remember what they named number one. It's probably one of the Disney parks. But
cares about that?
it's like old timey 1800s like Western theme park, and it is
That
awesome.
sounds so fun.
Is this where
It's-
they do portraits where the family dresses up in like the
Of course you can do all the old timey portraits and all sorts of stuff like that. And,
That's so
I think
cool.
it'd be so cute.
and
should do it.
so
Yes.
we would go out.
I feel like Nick would hang that up just because it's guns.
Yeah. Well, and for a couple of years there, they stopped doing all guns around like the first time in the '90s with the school shootings and stuff like
Oh,
Columbine and all
sure,
sorts. So
sure.
they're like, well, we can't do guns for a second. And then they're
Well,
like,
having children hold guns
yeah,
doesn't give us
well,
a
and
good
then, they're
look.
like, screw it, we're gonna go back to guns. So now they're fully back now. So, but yeah, we always did that, and we would go because we had so many people that we had to finagle, see what's the best way. So we figured out that they did the after 3 next day free. So you would go buy a ticket for their 3 o'clock, and then they're open until like 9. They're essentially open till dark, and then you just go all day for the first day, and then you come back all the second day for the same price. And so we did that, and it was really cool.
That's
so
awesome.
What's
and
it
then
called?
Silver Dollar City. So
Branson's like 9 hours away though. It's so far.
Oh,
it is
really?
it is a little bit far, but it is 100% worth it.
It is a nice area.
Oh yeah. It's
There is
in
a
like
lot
the
of stuff to do.
Ozarks and,
Yeah.
and all the windy roads and all the craziness. I mean, it does look like.
I'll look it up and look into it.
Oh yeah. That'll be a good one.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was my jam growing up, and my kids have even gone a couple of times now too. So
Aw,
That's
cute.
cool. That's awesome. We didn't really do anything growing up.
read books. I remember reading a lot of books.
I didn't even read back then. I was just, I
That's
don't know what I
crazy.
was doing, but watching a lot of TV, probably. But for a
Well,
while,
that's
when my dad
fine.
was still alive, he used to take us to a movie every Sunday after church. So, like, we would go to church with my mom, and then he'd pick us up from church, and we'd go to a movie with him.
He didn't go to church with you?
No, he wasn't a believer. But it was fun. Those are good memories.
Yeah.
Don't have a single thought about what movies we actually saw. They were probably all stupid, but
You don't know your first
It's fun.
movie?
I remember I went to The Grinch with my mom in the theater, and she fell asleep. And I think that's probably why I remember it. She was like snoring.
Apollo 13 was my first movie.
Really?
Apollo 13, because
When
my
was
mom.
that?
This was in theater.
This
right?
was in
I'm
theater.
talking
Yeah.
In theater.
Oh yeah. So.
In theater, mine was Spy Kids 3.
Ooh.
Banger, too.
Because
See,
the commercials made it seem like 3D, like they're gonna come out on the screen and touch you.
Yeah. See,
So I got scammed. And we're like, Mom, we gotta see it.
I remember seeing, what's the movie with the blue alien people?
Avatar?
Yes, I saw Avatar in theater, and
man, I keep forgetting that I'm way older than you guys.
the 3D of that was so terrible. I got so motion sick. That was like, this was the biggest waste of time and money because I was like, I had my eyes closed the whole time. I was like, I'm so sick from
But
this.
talking about something that this is the walking before the running was Avatar
They walked, so everything else can run.
and everything since Avatar has been exponentially better
Because of Avatar.
Because of Avatar. And yes,
Yeah.
people get motion sickness really bad, and the 3D is pretty okay, but it's not great for people that get any sort of motion sickness. And
Even or IMAX theaters, IMAX also like the ones where it's like the whole ceiling.
yeah, I love IMAX.
So
I
sick.
wanna go to
so
one.
sick.
that and,
When we
and
went to
those
Disney World, I got so sick.
So with IMAX, you would probably enjoy regular movies on an IMAX more because if you're going to watch an IMAX movie, most of the time they're going so fast, like it's huge, abrupt movements that's like that would make anybody sick.
Yeah,
It's-
Love it.
But
I just
yeah,
can't. And like if there ever is a movie where it's like first person running, I can't. I'm just like, oh, I could vom right now.
What do you mean? Like the Blair Witch Project?
I've never seen that, but it's basically like where the camera. So the cameraman
It's
doesn't
not-
have the stabilizer. The cameraman is
Blair
running
Witch Project.
at the same
Yeah,
time
it's
that the
exactly
person's
right.
running, and then you're like, whoa.
talk about the most profitable movie ever made right there.
Really?
Wasn't there nothing to that movie?
So it was $60,000 is what they spent to make it, and it made $240 million.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Wow.
It is. I
Is that a
think
horror
it,
movie or
The
what
best,
is that?
Yeah.
worst horror movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really good idea, and I don't know how it blew up because nothing really happened.
Because it was different.
It was.
And they like really made it seem like because Paranormal, those movies were pretty good.
Yeah, and those were pretty low budget too. And
Yes.
I
And
think
feel
that's the only
paranormal
genre.
movies always do very well.
Yes, and I think that's the only genre that you can still do a low budget and make money because there's not many other genres that you can do that. But the horror you can, because there's nothing more scary than what you have pictured in your own brain, and so
my
the
gosh,
the
it's
less
so
you
true.
show sometimes is the better, and
Yeah.
that's where. Even Signs did well. They just didn't show anything, and same thing with Blair Witch and Paranormal. You know, there's a few of those things. It's like they just don't show anything because it's way scarier what you got in your brain.
Just yes.
I don't know
In your
anything
head.
about like movies really, but that's fascinating.
Goodness.
Cool.
That's another.
You guys are
topic.
movie people.
I love movies.
Oh man, me too. Me too. But I'm just a nerd in general, so
I feel like I am too, but not about movies.
It's just,
I don't know, just about random stuff.
You get nerdy about whatever books.
Yeah.
So you
But-
just gotta
That's
find your
true.
niche.
I have this incessant need to study and just know a lot about a lot of things. So
A lot about a lot of things,
I
not a lot
love-
about a little things.
no, I study pretty much anything that comes across my plate I'm somewhat interested in. I want to go into a deep dive and learn and understand everything about it.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm very weird, and sometimes Diana will be like, okay, I need to know about these certain things. Can I aim your study at these things? It's like, cool, send it my way. And so sometimes to
So
a good
she's
way.
your brain, or you're her brain.
Sometimes. Well, she just doesn't have the time or
Or I don't care.
the patience to do it. Like she cares about having the information, but she's like, I don't want to spend all the
Yeah,
time
the
to get there.
patience for me is a big one. I'm like, I will be really, really into it, and then all of a sudden I'll just be like, wow, this is the most bored I've ever been in my whole life. After
Dude,
like,
I
I'm just
have
like, I can't do
the
this again.
absolute most patience of any person I've ever met.
Wow.
I don't know. Talk
Wow.
about genetics. I'm a very patient person, and I love to just know.
I wish I had that. I just don't. I'm so impatient.
So, for our emojis at the end, let's just do I will be popcorn. So if you listened, you can put a popcorn for me. And then I was going to do a big, like a brain emoji for
Ooh,
you.
I like
Ooh,
that.
Nathan's a brain.
Yeah,
I'll
I love
take the
that for
brain.
you. Yeah.
Nick can be, what was he really?
A gun. I don't know. Red flag.
What was he? Oh, a red flag.
Yeah, red flag.
Red flag for Nick. And Sarah,
don't
popcorn? No, I was popcorn.
I don't know.
Plastics, something with plastics from the beginning.
No, it was lead.
Lead. Okay, what's lead?
I don't know. I'd have to go through the emojis. I'm not like
Oh,
a super
pencil.
A
'cause
pencil.
Lead
Oh.
pencil.
SMRT.
Yes. So if you if you've got that far, leave those emojis.
I'm a pencil. Hannah's a popcorn. Nathan's a brain. Nick is a red flag.
Cool. Thanks for listening. This is Diana.
And Nathan /Nick.
Yeah, true.
Bye, guys.